PlayStation. I don't enjoy making fun of you. Okay, maybe just a little bit, but come on, man. You're not even really trying, are you? I mean, what are you doing, PlayStation? Have you given up? What's going on? Do you respect your user base so little? It's only been 2 years and PlayStation has an entire generation's worth of missteps and fumbles. PlayStation seems completely out of touch with its own user base. Even its most hardcore supporters are straining themselves to defend PlayStation. All of last gen, at least Sony tried to masquerade as being pro-consumer, even creating a motto to go with it. No, not that one. Yeah. But that little slogan hasn't aged well now, has it? Almost every facet of PlayStation's business appears to revolve around
And I got the squeeze.
extracting the maximum amount of cash above all else. I mean, last week, PlayStation announced a loyalty program. That's okay, right? Of course. Well, Xbox did it first, but it's not the first time PlayStation has copied Xbox. But Sony put its own little twist in it. There are 4 levels to the loyalty program, and the highest level is attained by buying 4 full-price PlayStation games on its store or getting 128 rare trophies. What does the highest level of loyalty get you? Other than a bunch of digital high fives and gold stars, you get priority in the chat order when you're calling PlayStation customer support. Oh. And what about everyone else?
Hell yeah, suck toes. Good afternoon, welcome to PlayStation.
PlayStation is known for having pretty poor customer service, but to put priority support essentially behind a paywall, well, that's hardly going to counter the new slogan that people have coined for PlayStation, called
For the payers, exactly.
Oh, Sony. Good customer service should apply wholesale for all your customers, no? But that's just the tip of it. You know how PlayStation likes to repackage the same game and then sell it back to you with the fancier visuals? Well, after The Last of Us Part 1 remake, it looks like Horizon Zero Dawn is also getting a remake or remaster. Why? Who knows? Who asked for this? Who needs it? Horizon Zero Dawn already got a next-gen upgrade on the PlayStation 5. It's not needed. Is PlayStation creatively bankrupt or what? What does this mean? Is 2023 really that sparse for PlayStation that may have to rely on this? And what will the price be based on The Last of Us 1 remake? Don't be surprised if Sony charge you 70 quid again. And that is still just the tip of the iceberg. Xbox's acquisition of ABK has really shown Sony's true colors to anyone who still doubts it. It's honestly such a poor look on PlayStation when Jim Ryan scurries off to the European Commission to no doubt try and compromise on the ABK deal. What happened to the PlayStation's competitive spirit? PlayStation can survive without Call of Duty, believe it or not. It seems like everyone but Sony has faith in its first-party studios to help them manage just fine. There are a whole litany of problems that you can list with PlayStation. In fact, I'll let my homie, Colt Eastwood, just name a few.
We believe in generations. You can't use your PS4 controllers with the new PlayStation 5. Why? Because we said so. Paid upgrades for games. $70 price point. No legacy backup pat unless you're on a paywall through streaming. Price hike for their console while they've revised it 3 times, reducing the cost of materials and telling the public that they were making a profit last year on the PS5. PSVR 2, no back and pat with over 200 games. Paying to keep games off of Game Pass via contract. PS Premium is $18 a month, and they say it's not made for new AAA games.
I'm so glad Xbox is applying pressure on Sony. Imagine how much harder Sony would be coasting in this space were it not for Xbox. We would all probably be paying a lot more for their games and the console, and for a lot less. But this isn't the time for PlayStation to get lazy or arrogant. One thing that Sony has done well so far, and for many core gamers that is the most important thing, is deliver great exclusives. We have God of War Ragnarok on the way, but after that, how long will the good exclusive argument run for? And how hard is PlayStation going to continue money-hatting third-party games? I imagine for the entirety of this generation. On the subscription service, it's hardly competing. On the console hardware space, it's charging more than its competition and offering less. A price hike after 2 years of releasing your console was a joke, especially during what appears to be the world hurtling towards a recession. Customer service, poor, unless you're level 4. Transparency, hardly anything. What do you know of PlayStation's future roadmap, huh? Communication, when was the last time Jim Ryan, Yoshida, or Herman Hulst properly engaged with their fans? PlayStation fans are constantly begging to find out when the next PlayStation showcase is. Yes, it's the market leader, and it's certainly behaving like one as far as its attitude is concerned. Is PlayStation now the Apple of the gaming space? I know hardcore PlayStation fans will scoff at the notion of me critiquing PlayStation, but I really do implore you all to apply some pressure on PlayStation to change the manner in which it serves gamers' interests. Xbox is constantly being slapped around by its fans to get its act together, and yes, of course, you have mindless apologists in that camp too, but Xbox wouldn't really be in the position it is in now if it was not forced to listen to gamer sentiment. Now it's finally competing, or starting to anyway. I'm confident that PlayStation will eventually get its act together, but as it stands now, it's just hard to back it when the company conducts itself in the way it is. Hey, who am I to complain? After all, PlayStation and some of its more deluded fans are all gifting me endless amounts of source content. Watch this space. But I genuinely want tough competition in this medium. That is dependent on both Xbox and PlayStation getting their act together, and Xbox has a fair few issues of its own. What do you think of PlayStation's performance so far? Do you actually think it's doing a good job and that all the complaints are really just noise in the ether of the social media space and have no bearing in the real world? Let me know your thoughts, especially if you're primarily a PlayStation fan. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, whether or not you agreed with me. Thank you. Atsuga.